Here we go, everybody. It is not the trenches. It's yards after the catch. We just got done filming the trenches. Welcome to yards after the catch. Last regular season week for the trenches. Look for that to drop this week. But after that playoffs, people start getting eliminated. But we are here to yak some fantasy football and just football in general with y'all. Of course, we'll do college chaos at the end of the show. We thank y'all for joining us. We take your questions and your comments live as you send them. And you can always follow the link in the description and come on the show with us. We love to have you. Roop, there it is. Week 10 in the books. We're getting on week 11, but let's wrap up week 10. I mean, it was a week full of injuries and amazing games in Buffalo. I think that game was in Buffalo, right? It's been a pretty cool season so far. I'm kind of excited. Green Bay actually gets a win. And last night, the Eagles go down. Week 10, Roop, there it is. Let's go.
Yeah, finally, there's no more undefeated, so it's kind of a little special moment. I went live last week. It just wasn't the same without you. We missed you. But how was your vacation? I mean, that's the important thing. Like, I needed you for multiple reasons, and you'll see why later in College Chaos, because it was chaotic.
Yeah. I needed to make something. You should have just hit me up like by text, like I need college chaos. I would have given it to you because I think I did pretty good last week, better the week before. I think I covered well. But no, Mickey Land was amazing. The new Guardians of the Galaxy ride is the greatest ride in the history of ride creation. It was absolutely fantastic. Had a great time. Brought back the flu, but other than that.
Of course,
fantastic. Would definitely do it again in about 5 years, so I don't have to mortgage the house.
Yeah, I feel like strep's going around too. So, just FYI, probably in a week or two, I'll probably be sick again. Just feel it coming on. The weather's been kind of crazy. It snowed on Friday. Didn't even know. It was just.
I saw the pictures.
Yeah, I was like, "Are you kidding me right now? Like, why?" So it was a lot of fun, but I'll tell you what. The excitement of football is here because there's some strange things going on. I don't understand. The Eagles went down. What about that face mask call? Did you like that? Oh, that's right. They didn't call it.
Oh, yeah. That one they didn't call it. Yeah. Hey, how did your fantasy season or fantasy week go? How are you liking football? Let us know in the comments below.
I just want to I want to say one thing. I still stand by what I said before. There should be no such thing as not reviewable. That is, I hate hearing that with a passion. You can't be like, oh, by the way, it's a fumble. He gets his eyes poked out and face mask. Yeah, we're not going to throw a flag on that. I can't stand that. If you see it, I mean, baseball's like, yeah, well, he was out or he was safe. Bring the video for a reason. You see something, say something. Oh, that's right. Not in video. Okay, NFL, let's get that fixed.
Yeah, Aikman brought up a great point. They've been trying to get it changed, at least for the big penalties, and I assume he's talking about the Players Association. And it makes sense, if it is a big penalty, if it's going to be a 15-yard penalty and stuff. I mean, I don't want to review every holding call and crap like that, but if it's going to be a 15-yard penalty, or if it's something, like pass interference, which are now reviewable because those obviously carve out big chunks, automatic first down, things like that. I mean, these are game-changing penalties, and I agree. They definitely should be reviewable. I understand why they haven't been in the interest of time, but if we're going to review things, then let's review the important things. 100% agree with you. It should have been reviewed.
Yeah, I don't care about the time. I don't care if the game's 16 minutes longer. Who cares? Get the calls right. Make it fair. You don't need cities burning down because people can't handle their team losing. It just I want a fair called game all the way through across the board. It just make the calls right. That's all I want.
So what do you call that? Do you say prior to the fumble face mask, and so that negates the fumble?
I would have to watch it again. I think the fumble happened before the face mask, so it would be still a turnover, but they would still be backed up 15.
Like take the 15 after. I thought the fumble happened after the face mask, but like you said, we could watch it again. And
I think we have to
review.
Yeah, it would have to be like a rule, because if that fumble recovery was a touchdown, you put it on the kickoff. Like, so what? Like, I think in a way
Yeah, right. Yeah,
you'd have to be like, oh, it's also a face mask right there. It may or may not have caused the fumble, so therefore it's a dead ball right there. I would be okay with that too, unless that's my defense that I want him to go all the way. I'm biased.
yeah. Well, I agree with you. I think if the fumble occurred before the face mask, then you would just subtract. It would be a turnover at that spot minus 15 yards. Um, and yeah, I can get on board with that. But it is a shame they missed that call. I don't know if it was a game changer or not. Uh, the Eagles were definitely reeling there, feeling the pressure, I think. And they go down to Washington. My favorite part of the game was watching how pumped up Heineke got. And he had a horrible night. Like,
Yeah, it
all
was
he had was
terrible.
an interception. He was like 18 of 30. But man, he was just pumped up and just happy to be there and be a part of it. That was kind of fun. How'd your fantasy week go, everybody? What are your questions? What are your comments? Just throw them in the comments. We'll answer them live for you right here. Follow the link in the description. Come be on the show with us. We'd love to have you.
I was actually thinking about his little kneel down and that little penalty that sealed the game. That's the worst way to go about it, I think.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that as well. Aurora had an awful outcome this past week. Injuries
Oh,
all over the place. Not the only one. It definitely was an injury filled. It's going to be the repercussions, right? Because Coop is essentially out for your fantasy season. Um, Possibly, if you make a really deep run in the playoffs, he comes back. But how does he? What is how
yeah,
good
because
is he going to be when he gets back? Um, Indianapolis defense takes a huge hit with Leonard having back surgery today. Who else went down? We lost
Zach
Jer-
Ertz.
Zach Ertz, Jerry Judy's may or may not be out for a few weeks. Good for Sutton fans if
Yeah.
you're still counting on Denver to generate some offense. But Dolchich and Sutton fans should benefit from a Judy injury nicely. To turn it around and talk about the positive, though, it looks like Keenan Allen and Mike Williams should be back this week. They're definitely going to practice, so they may come back if you have on the rosters. You're not happy about that if you're a Palmer owner, but
Yeah,
and
gotta do something about that. What's funny is I have Keenan Allen, and I just wish he would have sat the week before the bye. Like that made me so mad. Like I was like, dude, stay down. Like just get 2 more weeks out of it. Don't push it. And here we are a couple weeks later, and you're trying to recover. So
sure,
uh, terrible,
terrible. Justin Jefferson, fantastic game, even more fantastic catch. Um,
amazing.
Amazing catch. One-handed defender had two, climbs the ladder. We could talk about a better catch between that and Harrison Jr. once we get to College Chaos. I don't know if you've seen Harrison Jr.'s catch. I can pull it up, but it is also something to be marveled. It was pretty fantastic, and I'll try and pull that up in the meantime. But I mean, how did you do overall this week?
Of course, I can't go 5 for 5. I got to have something wreck it for me. I went 3 for 5 again. So it's just kind of like spreading out and flip flopping all over the place. So I'm like middle ground in all my teams for the most part. And it's kind of like I'm hoping I can just keep it up long enough to make a run for the playoffs. But with injuries, it's anybody's game. I'm kind of hoping the injury bug stops hitting me all year long. I've had plenty of people go down. I think I paid my dues. So how about you? How'd you do overall?
Absolutely horrible. I told you I was sick. Um, Brought back the flu and definitely did not recover well for all my rosters. Lost every single solitary match. Did not know that Jeff Saturday, congratulations, was going to sit Ellinger. So I definitely had Ellinger in.
Did we
And
both
Matt
do
Ryan
that?
puts up 20 burger. I think probably I would guess like 98% of Ellinger owners did that this week. That's my guess.
Yeah, I was hoping I would get my other quarterback back next week or somebody else, And I'm just looking, I'm like, why do I have 0 points and there's touchdowns on the board? And I'm like, you kidding me? And I zoom in and check it out. And I'm like, yeah, thanks for that heads up, Jeff Saturday, you piece of.
I mean, can you give us like some warning? Can you like? I don't know if there was any actual warning.
Yeah, what if it was like
I don't.
a first thing and like right before game time or something? But everybody doesn't
I'm
like Jeff
watching.
Saturday.
Well, I'm watching. I don't know why. I love the guy personally.
I mean,
I'm going to
realistically,
say
like
that.
everybody's hating. I was watching the show in Germany where everybody's talking about it. They were getting a little upset about it. Nobody, I haven't heard any good things. And what does Jeff Saturday do? He comes out, he switches the quarterback last minute and gets a W. And I'm like, well, maybe he doesn't deserve it compared to some other people, but he won and he tricked some
I mean,
people.
he got
He
his
was tricking
W.
fantasy owners.
Like, trick the entire fantasy world.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was not nice. Not nice, Jeff. And I had your back. I still have your back, but a great win. So uh, let's talk. Let's talk about some of the wins and losses real quick, and then we'll get into the waiver wire stuff. Um, we can bounce around the league. It's fine. Green Bay wins over Dallas. Did you see that coming? I know Green Bay has a great record against Dallas, but did you see that one happening? Like who?
I was looking at and I was watching Aaron Rodgers and I saw him meet his old coach before the game and stuff, and I
Gave
was
little
thinking,
hugs and all
gave him the
that.
hug and smiles, and all I thought was he wants to beat him badly, and I think that's what
So
happened.
bad.
He got a touchdown, he was jumping and fist pumping and all excited, something that you didn't really see all season long, and all of a sudden he's got all this energy. And
I guess there's a McCarthy meltdown at some point that I didn't see.
I guess. Oh yeah, he threw his headset. Like I'd reenact it, but
Yeah,
I have to pay for my headphones. So
that's right. So yeah, I heard
I'm
McCarthy
not.
kind of lost his
You
temper.
want me to?
Got a
I'll
little
do it. I
upset.
will throw him. This is what he did.
Let's. And there you
That's what he
go.
was so upset, and I was like, um, "You're gonna pay for that." But it was he got upset about it, and very much so, and they ended up losing. So good for Green Bay fans all over, and
We're
America's
talking
team went
about week
down.
10. We're talking about week 10. We're talking about scores. We're talking about the unexpected wins and losses. Let us know how your fantasy week went. Um, Panthers beat the Falcons in a game nobody cared about except some fantasy owners. Buccaneers beat the Seahawks. I kind of feel like I'm not calling conspiracy theory to say that this one was set up so that Brady could say he's won literally in every place NFL has ever played. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it definitely played in the NFL's favor that Brady had a decent day, had a pretty good day. Julio Jones gets the game-winning catch. The fans in Germany were going nuts. God bless them. I mean, it was just a really good experience. Not a great game, but a good experience. And you have to wonder how much of that was voluntold before the game started. Let's make it fun.
A lot of people say that Vegas knows something. They're putting money somewhere, but you still got to get the job done. I just it's some of the best acting across hundreds of people. Okay,
Well, no, I
but
don't. That's what I mean. I don't think the game was set up. I just think they were having a lot of fun in Germany. Did you guys watch the Germany game? What did you think of it? But they were having a lot of fun. You got Fournette running around with his shirt off after the game. Everybody's, all the players are super excited when they start singing John Denver. And I just don't think you get the same reaction out of the players in the States. And I do feel like the NFL kind of sent a memo. Hey, go out there and let's really have fun, play to the crowd. Let's make it a memorable experience for the Germany fans so that
right.
they'll have us back.
They did have a lot of fun, and I think I was going for Brady. I'm not going to bet against him. I mean, the first game in Munich, I feel like he was going to win that game no matter what. He was going to put it out there, and we'll get to the later with Julio Jones. I mean, Julio Jones looked fast. Okay, he looked
Yeah, he
healthy.
looked good.
So, I mean, we'll get to those little waiver wire pickups later, but I just you're not going to bet against Brady.
Yeah, Aurora says that she knew uh, Brady was going to win. Oh, you put it up. Thank you. Sorry about that. Because he is the GOAT. How'd your fantasy week go? What'd you see this week that you liked or didn't like? Got any questions or requests for us? Just let us know. Thanks for joining. And so the Bills Vikings game, probably the best game of the season, I think. They
Yeah.
called it that. We already talked about the catch. And the Vikings come out on top. I don't know if people necessarily called that one before the game started either.
You know, it was a pretty wild game. Everybody's fired up, and to be honest, it was the catch. It was the Josh Allen fumble in the end zone.
Crazy.
Something, I mean, just like one of those. It was like, remember the playoff games? Last year it was just absolutely wild. That's
Awesome.
what this felt like, and it was a great game to watch. I mean, I couldn't stop watching it. I was barbecuing, and I was like, I'm gonna pause it. I'm watching Red Zone, so it's everything, but I'm gonna pause it because I got to see this because it's like I don't want to be burning ribs and steaks and stuff. So, uh, did it anyway because it was that good of a game, just burning stuff left and right. So,
That is a good idea. I haven't barbecued. It's nice and cold out here. I should start barbecuing on Sundays.
yeah.
Um, Fantastic. Well, I was puking my brains out the night before, so maybe this week would have been a good one. Bears and Lions actually made it exciting. I mean, it actually, especially if you had the Red Zone channel, so you got to watch all the big stuff. It's Buckeye on Buckeye crime as Fields gets picked off by his old defensive back teammate for a pick six, and then on the next drive has to outrun him to the end zone. Fields does just that, outruns his ex teammate, and then in true college chaos fashion, the game ends on a big play by the number one defensive prospect out of that team up north, who gets the jump over the line sack. So it was just really cool watching the red zone all day and seeing that game happen and unfold throughout the day.
Yeah, Justin Fields is something special. I don't know what he got the week before. Was it 178 rushing yards? This week was
Yeah,
147. Like the dude
it's
is
a
going
point.
off. Like if he keeps this up, if he keeps this up, it's gonna like win somebody's fantasy season. Because putting up 40, 50 points as a QB is absolutely phenomenal. I'm so happy I have him on one of my teams so I can at least enjoy it for a little bit. But I mean, he was just out there, undrafted for most leagues, and whoever swiped him up sometime in the last several weeks or within the last month or so because of bye weeks, it was something fun to just kind of like watch and see what happens, and hopefully he can carry me to a championship.
Yeah, pretty sure he over the last 2 weeks. I'm pretty sure he's the leading rusher in the NFL. I'd have to confirm it, but I'm pretty positive about that.
Yeah.
I would put money on that even after Henry's week 4. Chiefs take down the Jags. I don't think much of a surprise. I actually thought it would be a better game, but the Chiefs handle their business. The Dolphins almost triple up the Browns while they doubled them up. No big surprise there to me. Were you surprised? I know you used to have some love for Cleveland before Baker left. Miami's just on a tear right now.
Miami's a great team. I've never heard of the Browns. Not really somebody I know or ever
Yeah.
cheered for ever.
Oh,
Maybe
okay. Ever in your life?
uh,
Got
just that garbage team.
it.
That unfortunately I might have a piece here and there. But
Well,
Miami is
Njoku has been nice until he got injured.
yeah. But Miami's just they're a solid playoff caliber team. You're not
Eight
really. I
0
mean,
under Tua, if I'm not mistaken,
yeah. So
this
better
year.
watch out.
Better not cry.
That's right.
The
Thank you for
Giants
that.
take out the Texans is just supposed to. The Steelers handled the Saints. The Saints could not put it together. And Andy Dalton in true backup Andy Dalton fashion back again. Will Winston come back? Wait and see, because Dalton looked like hot garbage.
This isn't the first time Dalton's done that, and I've been waiting. I held on to Winston for 2 months, and I'm like, come on already! Like, I just like this is driving me nuts. And everybody else is picking up Dalton on their bye weeks, like getting some decent points, and I'm like, all right, keep it up. Like there's certain times I'm sitting there holding out on players, nothing, And then other times I'm looking at them on the waiver. I'm like, I'm going to hold out. I'm just going to wait. And then boom, they're gone. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, and then I jumped too fast. I did a couple years ago, and somebody like ended up getting arrested, and I threw like 500 fab on the running back, and it just I'm just like, are you kidding me? Like I just so now I'm just sitting back. Sometimes on waiver weekends, I just wait, and I'm like, what's gonna happen? So what did I do? I was sitting there. I was like, do I take which quarter or which wide receiver do I take from Denver? I was like, you know what? Jerry Judy's on a hot tear right now. I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna start him over
So
Pittman.
it's your fault.
And yeah, so I
Send
feel like
your
whatever
letter.
I'm gonna I'm gonna make a league just for pickups, and then I'm gonna do that opposite for all the rest of my leagues. I'm not gonna touch the team
Everybody
that
you
I have.
pick up, you will not put those players on
Yeah.
other rosters. I got it. Titans outlast the Broncos. Not a fun game to watch, but there it was. Colts, Jeff Saturday, we talked about this. Go ahead and take out the Raiders. Raiders, boy, people expected a lot more coming out of Las Vegas this year, and 2-7 now. Defense not playing well, offense not playing well. Devontae Adams about the only bright spot on the team, and actually over the last couple of games, not that bright.
Yeah, I don't know what
Now
it is
Ryan
with
looked good.
yeah the Raiders. I have a friend that's a huge Raiders fan. He gave up and just said, you know what? I'm not talking about the Raiders anymore. They're a dumpster fire, and all just going off. I mean, huge fan and talking about Carr and how great he is. And I'm like, well, we'll see. Like this year, he has to be great, and he's not. He's
He's
not
not.
that greatness. So I don't know who's going to be the QB, but they will probably be drafting one because it's just
I wonder who's going to be the coach. The
yeah.
Packers go ahead and steal one from Dallas. I guess if you're a Packers fan, you expected that to happen. Maybe others did if you look at
Yeah.
history. Cardinals go ahead and 10 spot the Rams.
With backup
49ers.
quarterbacks, by the way.
In both sides, both
Yeah.
sides. At least you knew about it before the game started. 49ers take out the Chargers. Without looking, do you know what the Niners record is right now?
5-4.
It is 5-4. They're playing so well they get CMC. All you hear about is them winning, and they're only 5-4. They're actually tied with the Chargers right now in what was supposed to be the top division in the NFL. Pretty mediocre at best. And you look over to what the NFC East, I guess, is maybe the top division with the Eagles and the Cowboys. I think everybody there has a winning record, with the exception of the Commanders, and they're 5-5.
Yeah, like
So
how are you going to
nobody
just
with
be?
a losing record in that division.
Yeah, they're just some of these teams are just really stacked. But like as you said, there's several more games before their playoffs start, and it's a lot of season left for them. It's still anybody's game. Listen, when
Let's
you
remember,
have
there's a lot of season left for everybody. I mean, it's
yeah,
it's only week 10.
yeah,
Let's not
and
get
when
too
you lose
crazy.
players like Cup for at least the next 4 games,
Game
um,
changer.
that's going to be a game changer for a team. So
And
if
they
anybody
weren't playing
else,
very well anyway.
yeah, they were already kind of
So do you
terrible this
wonder
year.
now that Cup's gone, do they maybe they have to change the game plan? Does it help? Maybe I don't know. Stay
I
tuned.
think
We shall see.
Yeah, I think with Cup being gone, they're gonna have to spread the ball out a little bit more. Maybe, do you think they would really lean on a run game that they haven't had all season? Like they have all these people
Do they
back
have a
there.
choice? Do
I
they have a
mean,
choice?
I'm really scared for the Rams right now. I don't know what's gonna happen to them. I really wish I had better answers. I mean, do you take like waiver wires? You take Van Jefferson. If Allen
Yeah.
Robinson's still out there, I just
What's
it's
the name? Scandalatowac.
yeah,
Give a
Skoronek
dog a
or
bone.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, and we're going to get to waivers. He is definitely on a lot of people's waiver lists. I'm not seeing him high on this one. Uh, I can't find him at all. I'm sure he's supposed to be on here somewhere, and I probably just overlooked him. But yeah, I mean, if you believe in the Rams, then he might be a good pickup. He showed some flashes earlier this season, but he's been dropped off your roster since then. Let's see. Titans are going to the Packers. Normally, I'd say Packers, but even coming off the win, I think I'm going Titans in this one.
Titans and Packers.
Titans at Packers.
Yeah, I'm still going Packers.
Wow, getting sucked into the win.
Yep.
Bears at Falcons.
Bears.
The Bears. Weird to pick the Bears.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
I'm going to get on the train while it's running. So.
And it's running. Panthers at the Ravens. Ravens coming off the bye.
Coming off the bye. Ravens are hurt. Not going Ravens.
Really, I'm definitely taking the Ravens in this one, especially after the bye. Browns come into Bills territory. Bills getting beat by Minnesota, of course.
That's not a on Bills.
It's not. It's Bills all day. In a battle of a game that really nobody cares about, Washington is going to Texas, to Houston. Commanders versus Texans in a game to see who can just score something.
Is Wentz coming back? I don't know. Or is Heineke?
We don't know yet. We don't know. After last night's performance, you have to kind of think that he is, but I don't know.
You know what? I'm gonna go with Houston on this one just for fun.
I'm gonna take the Commanders on that. Eagles versus Colts. Are the Eagles just devastated? Can they react? Can they respond after a loss in Indy?
Indoors, yeah. I think the
Eagles. Saturday's new Matt Ryan offense. No, Eagles still win that one. Jets at Patriots. Both teams coming off a bye.
Jets.
JDTS, Jets. I'll take the Patriots at home.
Yeah, they're garbage. I don't know what's going on over there in New England.
Rams.
I'll take Ramondre Stevenson.
That's right, for the win. Rams in New Orleans.
New Orleans. They both
Who's
those teams.
Play quarterback? I don't know.
Yeah,
both those teams. I don't understand.
There's no identity on either of them, so I'll take the.
I think tomorrow has a big day. I'm going to give it to the Saints at home. Lions come to the Giants. I know you're taking the Giants, me too. Raiders over Raiders playing the Broncos in another game of just let's see who can possibly score something in a battle of field goal kickers.
Russ is gonna cook Denver.
If it is a battle of field goal kickers, I'll take Raiders. But I say Broncos win that one. Go Dulcich. Cowboys going to the Vikings. Red hot Vikings.
That's
Cowboys.
Be a great game.
That might be the game of the week this week.
It's going to be 48-52. Dallas.
4,000 rush yards.
Yeah.
I'm taking Minnesota. I think they are pumped up and ready to go. Bengals at Steelers.
Bengals, didn't they just have
always a good? Yeah, they did. Always a good rivalry game. You would think the Bengals have too much offense, but T.J. Watt is back. Steven says New Orleans is a dumpster fire. Are done. No first-round pick this year. Eagles have it, and then cap it off field next year. These dudes playing for 2024.
Pretty much. That's why Kamara wants out of there, probably.
Sorry I missed that comment there, Steven. Thanks for leaving it. Bengals and Steelers. You know I want to take the Steelers. I'm not going to root against my team. I'll take my Steelers. Going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, just, I want the QB over there, the Steelers, to just get his together, but he's not, so I'm going Bengals, baby.
Go ahead.
Got that rest.
Voting against me. Keep taking those visiting teams. Chiefs at Chargers. Game where Keenan Allen and Mike Williams should be back full offense. Don't know if they're going to be at full health. You're taking the Chiefs. I think another fantastic game. A barn burner coming down at the end. I know everybody wants to take the Chiefs, and I'll go ahead and take the Chargers just so I keep being different from you and taking those home.
Who's the Chargers QB?
Isn't it Air Bay?
Yeah, the Chargers QB. I don't speak of his name because he's killing me this year. So I'm gonna have to go with Chiefs. I
There
want
you
I,
go.
I I want to play him because I want him to throw for
Homies
50
versus
times.
Turbet.
Yeah, I just want to. I don't know. I just want him to throw 1,000 times, and he's not. And I mean, he almost got another touchdown last week. Would have kind of saved the day, but this mediocre stuff. Like I played him twice last year. We went off for like 50. I'm like, you know what? Next year I'm drafting him. What does he do? Shit the bed. Sick of it.
Oh, it's sad.
Feelings
Yeah,
hurt.
yeah, got Nicky Rage. 49ers at Cardinals in Mexico.
Ooh, that's
Should be
gonna
a
be a
fun
good one.
game. It
I
should
don't know.
be.
Murray's
I'm
kind of
sure
hurt.
Murray's coming. I think Murray comes back though. Murray comes back for Mexico.
Yeah, but they just lost Ertz. I know McBride. I think he's
Yeah.
probably the next man up. I'm going San Francisco all the way.
I'm going to take San Fran in this one too. We finally match on something. What do you know? And
Yeah.
that is our Week 10 recap, Week
Yeah.
11 predictions, and we will move into your waiver wire ads. Stick around. We're going to look at these catches. We're going to let you guys help us decide between the Marvin Harrison catch, the Justin Jefferson catch, which one was better. But before we get into those catches, we'll use that as a segue from the NFL to college chaos. See how we do that? And we need to talk about waiver wire ads this week. Some choices. There are choices out there. I just don't know if there's choices you want to take.
Okay. I'll start with the obvious. Everyone's going after Christian Watson. Like I get it.
Of course.
He had 3 touchdowns, big deal. But temper those expectations. There was a reason why. Maybe Aaron Rodgers wanted it a little bit more. Unless Aaron Rodgers finally flipped a switch, I'm a little worried about it. Marquise Goodwin had 22 points in week 7, 2 touchdown went off. Nobody ran out and got him. He's over there in Seattle. Get it. Listen, sometimes these things happen and you missed your shot. Unless he was on your team last week, don't worry about it. Could he continue? Yes, I believe he can. But he's had a lot of injuries this year. He's kind of been kind of shaky, unreliable. So it's a little boomer bust, if you will.
And look, let's talk about, because we like to talk about the reality, right? I mean, yes, he threw up some points, but he caught 4 of 8. He only caught 50% of his passes. He got 107 yards on 4 catches, but that means there are some big catches in there. So take that out, and what are you left with? 3 scores is what you're left with. But check a shadow report and see how which DBs he threw that against. Look, I think. They've been waiting for Watson. They're obviously rookie heavy this year. They're feeling him out, trying to see. But I think the ball keeps getting passed around. It's like you said, boomer bust. It's going to be unpredictable. Put Watson on your squad if you want to in a flex spot, something like that. But just don't expect 3 scores every week.
Right.
Look what Dallas was doing at the around week 3, week 4, and then he was non-existent. And now he's hurt. Lazard has had a couple big games. And again, been non-existent in other ones. I think they're just, I think Rodgers is just kind of throwing the ball where the game lets it.
Like if you lost like a Cup or a Judy or something like that, and you got to fill those voids or at least get another roster spot. I mean, you gotta get the next best thing. If depending on the size of your league, if he's there,
I mean, I'm
not afraid. I'll try it. I'm not afraid. Maybe they're gonna be on fire.
Yeah,
Justin Fields let me know that this year. He's like, oh, okay, maybe you can do it again. Maybe you can pull a Cole Kmet, which is another guy that's going to be on the waivers.
Everybody's going to be going after Cole Kmet. I like Cole Kmet's prospect a little better. I don't think he's going to keep big gains, but I think you have a much higher ceiling with Cole Kmet than you do with Watson, and a lower floor. Kadarius Toney. Kadarius Toney is another one that people are going to be looking at. Scantling, maybe not 100%. Look, you knew Toney was going to get some balls when he got there. He's not going to be the number one. He'll boomer bust. He might get you something, double digits every now and again. I don't think he's going to put you in the 20s anywhere. But again, if you're really hurting for someone, again, roll the dice, I suppose.
Yeah, if he's available, like there's injuries that are going to happen. A lot of them happened this weekend. A lot more are coming. We got several weeks to go before playoffs. You just got to hope that somebody doesn't, come in there like Julio Jones looked really, really fast. maybe he's finally ready to go and he's going to get you that, 60-yard TD each week for 14 points, whatever they are. And you're looking for that sort of thing on those, these bye weeks are still not over yet. So you got to prepare for those.
Other thing you got to look at are schedules coming up. For instance, Donovan Peoples-Jones, 70 receiving yards in 5 of his last 6 games. That's nice. Consistency is great, but his upcoming schedule is pretty rough. And so temper expectations. You got to look at those shadow reports. You got to look at those past defenses. And I feel kind of like you did, like you mentioned about Watson. I think you may have missed your window, at least for the next few weeks, on Peoples-Jones.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like, is it going to continue? And you just got to take a judgment call on that and hope that you can get somebody for a good price and they'll actually pay off. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. One of them was Jamar Chase. He was sitting on the bench or on the waivers for a couple weeks, and all of a sudden he was gone. So you just got to watch out for that. And I got one question for you about a drop and a pickup. Benjamin, what did he do? What video is about to surface? Why did a 23-year-old running back drop off a team after he covered for Connor for a couple of weeks and did a really good time? And all of a sudden now he's over there in Houston backing up Dameon Pierce. Like, why did they do that?
I have no idea.
Is Connor can't get hurt now? Like, he's already hit his ceiling on that? It doesn't make sense to me.
Let's see.
I'm waiting for something on Eno to pop up.
It says Cardinal season hasn't been stocked with many positive stories, which made Eno Benjamin stand out like a lone book on the shelf. But that story ended Monday when he left. Oh, actually, accidentally clicked the thing. That story ended Monday when the Cardinals announced they had released the Arizona State running back. It was a surprising move, at least until pieces of the backstory began to leak. Benjamin played just one offensive snap in Sunday's victory over the Rams, and he didn't hide his displeasure at his diminished role, per sources. That included getting into a confrontation with an assistant coach after the game. It was enough for the Cardinals to move on from the player they had been raving about since last spring. When the season started, we could see why Benjamin was capable of backup to Connor, and there wasn't a decline when he started 3 games while Connor was hurt. Look, he had good game. Connor comes back, and Benjamin goes back to his role, and apparently Benjamin didn't like that. So they sit him. He gets mad, gets into with assistant coach. Can't do that, and away he goes. When the assistant coach was asked about the confrontation, when asked about a confrontation between the agent said he didn't know. He thinks that's inaccurate, but there you go. That's most likely what happened. They're pretty good about reporting those things accurately. So that would probably be your answer.
Yeah. How about you, just be a team player? Also, if you're
the backup, rookie, right?
You're the backup. Like, be the backup. Like, earn that spot. Connor's not going to be there forever.
Exactly.
And now you're on a team where you are either in a committee or you're still the backup because Dameon Pierce is dominating that backfield. So, I mean, they didn't even move him to the practice squad. They just said, you know what? We don't want that type of attitude on this team. We're a team, and you're gone. And maybe they made an example out of him. I don't know. It's just sometimes you just can't have that on the team. I get it. Like, you filled in great and you did wonderful and fantastic and great job. Pat on the back. Go sit on the bench.
Now you're stuck behind Dameon Pierce. So
great job. Now you're behind a better, younger running back. So okay.
Do we pick up Paris Campbell? Paris Campbell only on 20% of rosters right now. Do we go back? Does he get another chance? I mean, obviously we're giving Taylor another chance. Nobody dropped Taylor. Everybody dropped Campbell. Ryan's back.
You're right. It was a big change of pace. I can't pick him up because I have a lot of Pittman. which has been great, a blessing and a curse, mostly a curse lately. And I mean, Matt Ryan should have been great this whole season, and it just failed. I don't know what happened, what
Got a wake
changed.
up call.
Yeah.
Alarm
So hey,
wrong.
you're going to
Alarm
sit the
flashing.
rest of the season. All right. Well,
All right. Guess go somewhere else next year.
I don't know. Yes.
If you're gonna take, if you're gonna pick up a Giants receiver this week, and Slayton is only on 5% of rosters, and Wandell Robinson is on 26% of rosters. Which one would you take?
Um, Slayton seems like the better, safer choice, but or Wanderlei
There you
is a
go.
safer one, but
And probably, I mean, are we
Slayton
talking
would
like
be
regular
fun.
league? Are we talking dynasty? What are we doing?
Yeah. Don't
But
tell me
I'm
what you're
definitely
doing.
talking PPR here. Who else is out there? Who else you got? Oh, let's talk. We probably need to talk about some running backs. You know, running backs. Definitely number one on that list as far as contrarian places go. I'm not going to argue with it too much. Is Rashad White? Rashad White allegedly only owned on 34% of rosters. I'd be surprised if that were true in your league, if Rashad White was even available. But he's starting to carve out a role as they start working him into the lineup. And Brady seems okay with that. Rashad White leading the running backs this week for waiver pickups.
Yeah,
How do you feel about
Rashad White has a lot of points and a little bit extra carries. Fournette had a hip pointer injury. He'll probably be back after the bye, so don't put too much on it. But I've been,
that? If
he
you need
said,
one,
yeah, if he said
and hit
I'm
commit.
supposed to get more. I didn't see more carries because they were saying, we're going to get him some more work and some more touches during the game. And he said during practice, I didn't see more work. So what is it? And I feel like they're going to slowly work him in and kind of, save Fournette for playoff if they can make that.
And I mean, Fournette's going to be your pass catching guy either way. Pacheco, the guy everybody wants to go off this year, he's listed as RB2 top waiver pickup this week. Edwards Hilaire having absolutely 0 points this week, so you would think that Pacheco would have more work, but you've already thought that 2 or 3 times this season if you pay attention to fantasy. So I don't know how much stock you want to put in it this time.
I'm so scared of both of those, CEH and Pacheco. Like, why? When I think of Kansas City, I think of all the great few past running backs that have just been absolutely dominant. They're, getting you 20, 30 points a game. And now they're just throwing it 50 times, and the running backs are getting like 6 points as a good week. That doesn't make sense. It's not a balanced game plan, and that can come back and bite them in the long run, I think.
Yeah, it does appear that CEH is probably out. I think he's probably third on the list as they bounce between Pacheco and McKinnon. It's just like you said. I don't know what you're going to really get out of either of them. Let's see, Pacheco for the whole season has 3 receptions for 13 yards and a touchdown, 279 rush yards on 60 attempts. I mean, I guess if you might get lucky, like you might be getting into the early window, right? So if you pick up a Chico now, it could definitely pay off for you later. So I can see picking them up if you've got room. Stash them on the roster. Look at the matchups. And
The matchups are really great. The playoff run, I mean, it's just, if you got one of those colorful apps, it's all green down there. It's really exciting. It really means nothing because I've seen it mean nothing.
Yeah.
But now I'm puzzled between because I have CEH in one of my leagues, and I'm actually thinking about dropping him. Yeah,
no, I
just
totally dropped that.
like I just.
Totally
I mean, maybe not in a
Wow.
12 or 16 team league, but on my 8-team league, yeah, I think it's time to go. And I traded for him, but there was other things in the trade. Don't worry about that. It wasn't like a bad trade or anything, but
we can't talk about waiver wire ads, drop stats, all that stuff for week 11 without bringing up Deshaun Watson. Once again, here he is back at practice, 2 more weeks till he can play. 100% getting picked up this week in your league, guaranteed. If he hasn't already been sitting on someone's roster all season, if he's available, he will get picked up. are you going to be the guy that takes him?
I currently own like 3 stocks of Deshaun Watson. So, um, but here's the thing, though. I have what? So I keep looking at them, right? And I have Justin Herbert, Justin Fields, and Dak Prescott in one of my leagues. 2 QB
Who would you
league.
drop it? Who would you drop for Watson? I know my answer, but who?
Herbert.
See, Prescott would be for me. I'm not dropping Herbert when he's got Eckler. There's just no way.
Yeah, okay, you're biased because you have Eckler, but when you look at the stats, Herbert is just not showing up, and I can't drop Fields. You can't drop someone on fire. I want to trade him away.
Yeah, but okay. So
I want to trade him right now. Like, that's what I want to do.
how much should we expect out of Herbert when he doesn't have his top 2 receivers? He hasn't had his top 2 receivers in at least 3 weeks. Hasn't had Allen in like 6.
All season he hasn't had it. So
yeah.
Like,
so,
but what it? Okay, it's a. I know it. Okay, so let's say it's a 2-keeper league, and you want to keep 2 solid quarterbacks. Out of those 4, Deshaun Watson, Dak Prescott, Fields, and Herbert, who would you take?
well, it's not the popular answer, but I'm probably going to go Herbert and Fields because I don't know what Watson's going to do yet. First of all, Watson's not going to play for another 2 weeks.
Yeah.
When he does play, they've already said he's going to start. Jacoby Brissett already knows he's got 2 weeks left. Well, they threw way too much money at him not to. They absolutely have to start him. But so if you're gonna pick up Watson, then I guess you're kind of hoping to have Amari Cooper as well. I mean, I don't know. Joku would be nice.
I want to trade a couple of the. There's at least 2 teams in the 2 QB league that don't have a solid quarterback. They waited way too long, and if I trade them something like that, then I can go get Watson. In worst case scenario, I'm running Fields and Dak until Watson knocks all the rust off.
Well, I mean that's a fair strategy because I think you will get something for either Herbert or Prescott. I think you can pull something down, and then like you said, you have Watson just kind of sitting there in case he goes off. Another strategy, of course, would be to pick up Watson and trade him for 3 or 4 great players because people will pay you for him, just like Cleveland paid Watson himself. I don't know who else is out there that's kind of sparking your interest right now. I don't really consider, even with Cup down, I don't really like Rams receivers. I just don't think that team's playing very well right now.
No.
I mean, maybe this changes the game plan enough to get it going. Hayden Hurst is out there with Cincinnati if you're looking for a tight end, although I think Kmet's definitely the hot guy right now.
Yeah, you're going to have to pay for Kmet this week. You waited too long.
Yeah, 100%.
Kmet is the new Kelsey. He's the Baltimore tight end type looking thing. He's just going off right now. He's going to be the guy. I'm telling you, it's not a fluke when it's 3 weeks in a row, 5 touchdowns.
One last guy we got to talk about because they say he's getting in football shape. Not that he really wasn't out of football shape. They say teams are interested. They say teams are looking at him. OBJ is still talking in the conversation. Does he get picked up? Doesn't matter if he gets picked up. And once he does get picked up, would he be somebody looking at? And I know it matters. Depends on the team that picks him up. And we know he's not vintage OBJ anymore. But, I mean, Julio Jones is still making a difference every now and again. Does OBJ matter? Does he? He's not. He doesn't matter as much as Watson.
Check it out. Where did OBJ come from? The Rams. What did Rams just lose? Cup. He wants to go to the Rams because he's going to be the number 1 guy. Listen, if he does start,
hashtag
write that down. Listen, if he goes to the Rams and he does start and he's ready to go, he could be ready for your playoffs or at least the late round. Hopefully he doesn't have as much rust, but listen, it's exciting to think about. You don't want him to go somewhere where there's already a solid tight end and a solid wide receiver. He's not going to go to the Bucks. They're too deep at wide receiver, and he's not going to mean anything there. But if he does get picked up midweek and not over the weekend somewhere where you have to wait for waivers and then you have to fight other people off. I mean, is it worth a stash? Yeah. I mean, I got Cam Akers on one of my teams. So what?
Does he try to go to Philadelphia or Kansas City so he can get another ring? Have a shot at a ring?
I would say if he's going to try anything, go to the Bills. He wants Josh Allen, I think, more than anybody. If I was him, but
maybe Miami.
I don't know. I think
just let Tua and Waddle do all the work for you.
Yeah, I mean, Kansas City would be a good spot too. That'd be a great landing spot considering what's his name just went down. But
he'd have a role there.
He would.
A small role. He'd have the same type of role he had with the Rams. So let's talk about these catches as we transition into college chaos. Let me bring up first of all the catch that we have all seen. Let's bring this one up. Let's get the audio. Let's share it for everyone to see and roll that.
Moment, but we got to look back at this. How does he maintain?
It's the rollover.
We got to look back at this.
Amazing.
He has right there.
How does he
maintain?
Has
to roll over and
moment, but we got to look back at this.
We will look at it one more time.
Hey, how does he maintain?
And then he one-hands
moment,
it.
But we got to look back
Absolutely
at this.
Insane. What a catch. We know that's definitely one of the catches in the year. I think Pickens could make an argument. We've seen some other catches, but it's definitely towards the top.
I would say that's better than OBJ.
You think so? I mean, I'm not gonna argue that. It was definitely a fantastic catch. Now check out this one, and this one is not just about the catch. It's also about the body control. Let's check this out here if we can get it to play. Feel free to play. Are we not gonna play? Because I've already been playing it. There we go. All right, here we go.
Oh yeah, commercial. Thank you, Target, for your support.
Absolutely, Target contributing to everyone's enjoyment here on Yards After the Catch.
Go shopping at Target.
Go shopping.
Stroud has the ball in his hands. The right-hander looks to throw. Sends that one up the right side. Caught Marvin Harrison. Cut down at the 26 of Indiana.
Now you think it's a good catch. I'm pretty sure he got higher than
the officials are discussing, and they're going to make a Marvin Harrison catch at the Indiana 26.
The ruling on the field is a catch. First down.
Well, Harrison was in the air. Sanguinetti was underneath of him, but Marvin came down with a pigskin.
He's got sweet toes. He got those tippy toes in right before he needed to.
I'm going to have to say Indiana gave him the catch.
You see him lift his leg, right? I mean, that foot would probably have come landed out of bounds.
Came down with a pigskin.
He's got sweet toes. He got those tippy toes in right before he needed to.
Insane body control. He had a few catches yesterday like that, but that one, okay, let me just dispel the rumor right now. I'm not putting that up just because it's an Ohio State catch. I love that it is.
You're an Ohio State fan?
I am the Ohio State follower, and
I can't wait to college chaos. The goes down too.
You're crazy.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
But just an amazing catch. Two amazing catches. If you're an NFL fan, obviously you vote for Jefferson. If you're a Buckeye fan, you might lean towards. I think they're different catches. I think the catch is better from Jefferson. I think the body awareness to get that foot down, and I agree with you. I think he had a little help from the Indiana player with keeping that other foot up, but just to pull that off, I think was fantastic. But catch-wise, I'm going to vote Jefferson on this.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go Jefferson. I mean, like you said, he was helping pull the leg out of the way for coming out of bounds, and Jefferson had someone trying to pull the football with two hands away from him, and he just became even more of a man that day, and just his muscles grew 3 times that size. Is this too early to talk about Christmas stuff? I don't know.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
It's never too early to talk about Christmas. And so that takes us into college chaos, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk some college football. Let's talk about predictions. Let's talk about the upsets. Where did you go last week? Let's start there and see how it all played out.
This is why I needed you, because I went crazy. I went Ole Miss.
Let me get last week pulled up.
Oh, yeah, because I went Ole Miss, which was number 11, over number 9, Alabama. That did not happen.
I hear what you're saying, but no, that's
yeah. Okay. I told you I was lost in the sauce. And then I went Baylor over number 19, Kansas State.
I'm not mad at you for that. It's 19. Baylor's been playing very well. Was the score? It just wasn't even close.
Yeah. They only decided to come to Norman and beat us, and then that was fine. Whatever. Sure. And then my last one was number 18 Texas over number 4 TCU. That also did not come to fruition. Now it was 0 for 3 without my host.
But it was close. At least that was close.
I don't know.
Touchdown game. I probably would have taken. I would have taken UCF over Tulane just for the shit of it, and I would have got that one. I would have taken Purdue over Illinois because I think Purdue can play ball, and it was a Big Ten matchup, and I would have got that one. Other than that, I probably would have taken Syracuse over Florida State. I probably would have lost out big on that. So don't feel too bad. We both would have lost. Now, I would have liked to have called that Washington-Oregon game. I wouldn't have. Right. But there you go. Washington takes Oregon out.
Terrible.
With a field goal in a game that not many people watched because it took place on the West Coast, which is unfortunate. I think a lot of people missed some good football.
Oregon lost at home to ranked 25 Washington.
To a very good team. But there you go.
Which
brings us to this week, week 12, 1 week ahead of NFL. Let me just get to the ranked games here. I'm excited to see where this is going to go.
I went a little wild. I went the Louisville Cardinals will upset number 16 NC State.
No. Not for me. No, thank you.
Go find it. Click on the time.
Where are we at? What is the time? Louisville versus NC State.
It's probably a late game. Telling you.
It's not even listed. Are you sure they're playing?
Was I even on the right week? Who knows? I don't know. It's been a long week.
Louisville versus NC. There it is. Louisville versus NC State. 3:30 game. You said you want me to click on it?
Click on that, yeah.
Let's click on that. Let's see what happens. Here we go.
Look at 69%.
More points.
That's not why I picked it. I picked them before I looked that up.
Advantage Louisville on points per game. Advantage Louisville on total yards. Advantage Louisville on passing yards. Advantage Louisville on rushing yards. Advantage NC State on defense for points allowed and yards allowed. But advantage Louisville for pass yards allowed. And Louisville has beat everybody they've come up against in the last 5 except for Clemson. Whereas NC State has dropped one to unranked BC and 18 Syracuse. So it's not a bad call. You know what? You have convinced me, good sir. I will jump on board with Louisville over NC State.
There we go.
Well done.
I don't know the true rankings because they come out while we're on the shows. So whatever they are, I haven't looked them up. Arkansas over Ole Miss, whatever the ranking is, it was 11. So, Arkansas is at home.
Arkansas is playing good ball, and they're playing spoiler.
And Arkansas is at home too.
And Arkansas is at home. What is the against Ole Miss? No, Ole Miss has to come back. No, Ole Miss wins this game.
Ole Miss is going to win that game.
Ole Miss is going to win that game.
All right, so I got you on that side. So 1 for 1, or
Yeah.
1 for 2, I should say.
Right.
And the last one.
If you say Rutgers over Penn State,
if I say who?
Rutgers over Penn State, I'm just going to lose my mind.
No.
Okay. I didn't think you would.
I'm not gonna. No, I'm gonna stay away from. Okay, we'll get into the Ohio State Michigan game here in a second because you're gonna get a kick out of it. Because I got some.
Well, that's until next week. That's not.
I know.
Okay.
There's a reason why we're talking about it. Number 13 Utah over number 6 Oregon. The numbers probably changed, but Oregon. Oregon's going to lose again at home and get embarrassed by number 13. If you're going to lose to a top 25, as in 25 ranked Washington at home, why could you not lose to the 13th ranked at home?
Man, I can't call that. I can't count. Is it still an upset though? That is. I hear what you're saying about like the things that
why wouldn't it be
coming out. Well, because Oregon lost, so are they still going to be ranked? They're not going to be ranked 6th, clearly. But
they'll probably be outside the 13, yeah.
They could definitely fall outside the 13. So I'm gonna hold off on that one because I don't know if that's an upset.
So we'll wait on that one. But that's where I'm going. Okay.
You're there. So could you maybe throw a backup in?
Maybe.
I'll do mine.
Yeah.
And give you a chance to and maybe you'll hop on board with one of mine, so that can be kind of your backup.
Backup, my third one, yeah. UAB over LSU. Just kidding.
Illinois over the team up north? No, probably not. Austin Peay over Alabama? No, probably.
No.
Yeah.
This is that's right. This is Cupcake weekend. I forgot.
It is Cupcake.
This is garbage weekend. Yeah, I don't want to. There's nothing to watch this weekend
so that people can prep for their rivalry.
Yep.
Kentucky over Georgia? Probably not going to happen. Maryland over Ohio State? Obviously not. Miami over Clemson? No. Kansas over Texas. Louisville over NC State? I won't touch either of those. Georgia Tech over North Carolina. Wow, you just can't call it. South Carolina at home against 5th-ranked Tennessee. Yeah, South Carolina's pulling that one off. Okay, how about this? I'll take UCLA, number 12 UCLA over 8 USC.
Yeah, because I don't think those are going to change too much.
Probably not. I don't think so. I think we're okay there.
But I'm taking USC on that one.
Are you?
Yeah.
I probably would too, but I have to take something. Man, there's not even 3 to pick.
I told you it's a rough week.
It's garbage. Yeah, it's garbage week.
If that's the case,
how about Georgia Tech pulls the upset at Chapel Hill against North Carolina, 15th-ranked North Carolina. You can write me down for that. And then
no.
I don't really believe in that one too much. But like I said, I got to pick something, and I don't believe in this one either. But I did already jump on board with yours, so technically I have 3. But I'll go ahead and take another one and say Boston College over. No, I can't do it. I'm taking that other third one. No, I can't do it.
Yeah,
I was going to say Boston College over. I don't. Some team, Maryland.
Maybe.
No, it's not going to happen. Oh, how about the no. I was going to say Navy over UCF.
Ohio State is 90% matchup predictor going to win that one.
Let me tell you, they showed the line, and I'm not joking when I tell you last week over Indiana, Ohio State was a plus 10,000 against Indiana. Plus 10,000. Indiana was a minus 10,000. My bad. Say that wrong. Indiana was a plus 2,500 underdog, and Ohio State was a minus 10,000. It was pretty insane.
Yeah.
Do you have? So I didn't give you anything. There's no backup. I'm not even gonna print. I'm not even gonna make you do anything.
I told you it was really difficult to
It's
do.
ugly.
I
But you want to talk about next week? You want to talk about the game?
The game. So,
The game.
yeah, we don't need the college chaos anymore. It's going to be a total shit show again because it's Cupcake Weekend. So I'm not really worried about that because everybody's getting ready for, like you said, next week's games.
There's only one game. There's only one game.
I'm going to the Oklahoma State game at 6:30 p.m. and that's going to be fun.
Are you actually going to go?
Yeah, it's going to be like
30. This is the first game that you're going to since the first second loss.
No, I've been to all the home games, but
you have. I thought you stopped going. I thought you threw a tantrum and stopped going.
Oh no, I still go. I mean, it's nothing better than going out and hanging out. But because I love going to the home games, the tailgates are just fun to just walk by and check out and grab a drink, grab some food, laugh, see all the excitement and feel the warmth in the air. Just it won't be there this weekend. So I was talking to the wife, and I was like, you know what? I was like, you know what? They're gonna, Ohio State and Michigan are going to be undefeated going into next week. It's going to be a monster game. How cool would it be if Chris and I go there, just root on Ohio State, and just kind of screaming in the crowds. And I was like, you know what? Why? Oh, yes, you can. You go to StubHub and all that other stuff. You can if you got commas in the game. Yeah, because I the first thing I saw was like, oh, the cheapest one I could find was $500. So I was like, all right, cool. Yeah. I was like, but you know what? I want an aisle seat. So let's see. I need 2 seats. I need an aisle seat. So we're looking at $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, Merry Christmas.
Totally know, but I have to work.
Yeah, and that was the other thing. I was like, what are you doing Thanksgiving weekend, and do you want to spend thousands of dollars? And, yeah, the wife's not going to go for it on both sides of the house. So I was like, yeah. You can't go on like a Florida trip and then come back.
Honestly, though, I honestly think my wife would let me do it.
If it was reasonable,
right. I mean, if it was regular prices, drive up there, drive back. I definitely think my wife, especially for the game, she would definitely let me go. We, Thanksgiving is over.
Right.
We had, Friday to,
clean up the house,
wash Thanksgiving away. Thankfully, we're not having Thanksgiving at our house this year. We're going to family's house, so I guess it's their house and not my own. So I really think that she probably would. I'd have to drive up, just like last time we went. I'd drive up. In this case, I'd probably drive up on game day overnight. I'd meet you there, and then I'd probably have to drive back that night.
It would be terrible because it's an 11 o'clock kickoff, like one of the greatest games that's
yes.
And
it's every year. Every year they do it at 12.
I know why they do it. I do.
So that because they're the only big game on at 12 o'clock because other games are happening all year long.
The same reason why Oklahoma and Texas for forever have been an 11 o'clock kickoff, because you don't bring Oklahoma and Texas together or Michigan and the Ohio State on at 6:30 kickoff, because you will have 50,000 at least wasted drunk fans fighting in the stands. Right. I mean, so if you have 11, you have to drink a lot to get that hammer to start fighting at 11 a.m. But 6:30 kickoff, it's going to be
6 o'clock in the morning, brother.
Yeah,
you get beer and eggs at the game every year.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, yeah, I understand. Like, I hate it.
Believe me, those fans are plenty slammered at 12 o'clock. But you're right. They're not passed out puking in the stands like they would be at 6 o'clock. You're 100%. That makes a lot of sense. I like that.
I figured that out 2 years ago.
Pretty damn smart. College Chaos brought to you by Target, apparently. Thanks, Target, for doing that.
Thanks for the plug.
Go check out the trenches this week when the episode drops this Thursday. Last free week to play. Eliminations start next week. You had a lot of attitude from some of the players who did not like the game breaker last week, but it was a lot of fun, a really fantastic episode. Go check out the trenches because after this, it's really going off the rails because people are going to start going home. And College Chaos, come hit us up every week for that. Start, sits. Let's see how we did. We'll check ourselves. next week. I don't know. We made predictions on the games. We wrapped up week 10. We made predictions on week 11. We went through some college stuff. I don't know what else there is to do there. There it is.
I'll tell you what, the trenches was phenomenal the last 2 weeks because one, I had somebody go in the middle of the last episode, and then this episode, people didn't even want to talk. And sorry, Nikki, I know you're upset. There were some few other people that had some Navy words, I guess you could say, like old sailor you. But you know what? It's all fun and games. It's an excitement. It's supposed to be. Yeah, it's supposed to be fun, but you know what? You got to go check that out. It's going to be fun. We got to do a highlight reel, just like, and have to watch everything all over again, get like little snippets of the things all throughout the season and make a highlight reel for next year. It's definitely going to be a lot of fun, but I can't wait. Let's go fix our lineups because I know mine's devastated and I got a lot of work to do. But thank you guys.
Everybody have fun this week. Best of luck in your fantasy football season. Check out the trenches at the Armchair Athletics on YouTube. Go to thearmchairathletics.com. Check out the charities. Check out the page. Go find the YouTube link. Go check out there it is at Mr. Football Today on Twitter. I'm at Armchair Alpha. Fantasy football, everybody. Have a great time. Everybody enjoy football. Love you guys.